Hey everyone, it's Jill Kaminski here, and today I'm going to talk about credit scores. I know it's a huge subject, and a lot of people are worried. They have this huge dream of owning a house, but they're afraid their credit score isn't going to be high enough to be able to get a loan. So, I have great news for you. There are tons of people out there who are in the same boat as you. So, if you have a dream of owning a house, and you are afraid your credit score is too low, we're going to go over, what the minimum credit score is, programs and that kind of thing, as well as how to get your credit score up. Credit is a huge subject, and really I could probably do 10 or 15 videos on credit scores. So we're just going to take a little piece out of it at a time, okay? So first, I want to talk about my friend Leilani. Leilani came from California. She lived in Torrance. And when we first met, she had a credit score of 498. It is the lowest credit score I have ever met of someone. And she told me she was sick and tired of living in California and was ready to make a change. She decided she wanted to move to Arizona and she wanted to buy a house because she felt like living in California on her income that she would never be able to become a homeowner. So she said she was working on her credit, and by the time we ended up moving her out, so about 6 months later, her credit score was up to the 600s, low 600s, which is amazing. So she basically went up over 100 points in 6 months. So I'm going to interview her again. You guys already met her once in one of my videos. I'm going to interview her again to kind of tell you the things that she did to get her credit score up to where it is. But I'm going to share one of the things here. So she added an app to her phone called MyFico.com. It is a service that you pay for. Whoops, that's my ring. And it costs $29.95 or $39.95 a month. And basically that monitors all your accounts. So your credit score is kind of complicated. There's a lot of different matrices that come up with your credit score. And there is a different formula for each type of credit score. So for instance, if you want to get a credit card, there's a certain formula that they look at to give you a credit score to be able to apply for a credit card. A mortgage is totally different. So there's a whole different formula that they use to get the score. So you're going to see that your credit scores are actually all different based on the different types of credit you're trying to achieve. So this one app actually lets you monitor all the different types of credit scores for the different types of credit, if that makes sense. So she got the app and she monitored it. So the next thing she said was really important is watching the billing cycles and the due dates. So basically, if you are ever late, even by one day, on paying a bill, whether it's a credit card, utilities, cell phone bill, it will affect your credit score in a very negative way. So basically, there's this small window. So when the billing cycle ends, you typically have, it's like 7 to 10 days before the due date. So you need to pay your bill on time. It's best to either pay the day before it's due, but never after. So I forget what the window is. Maybe she'll be able to tell us a little bit better. But it actually negatively affects you if you pay too early, and then it also negatively affects you if you pay too late. So there is a sweet spot that you need to pay your bills in, and that will help increase your credit score. So most of the time, to be able to qualify for a loan, you have to have a credit score above a 580, typically. There are some programs where you can actually have less. However, if your credit scores are in the 500s, you will be paying a way higher interest rate. You will also have to bring money into the transaction. So most people who have credit scores who are lower don't have a huge amount of reserves. So most of the time, those programs are very difficult for anybody to get into. So the best thing, my advice would be to get your credit score up high enough over the 620 or 640, because a lot of programs open up at that point to where you don't have to do that down payment assistance or, have to be able to come in with a whole bunch of cash. And then also at that point too, a lot more programs open up to where they actually give you money. So like there's a program for an FHA down payment assistance program or even a conventional. So getting your credit score up high enough to qualify for one of those loans is always the best idea, because then you don't have to bring in a whole bunch of money to be able to get a loan. So she got the app, and also she joined this Facebook group. It's a credit group, which I will post at the bottom. And they go over, you have people in there who are in the same boat asking questions who, what do I do? How do I pay this bill, to get my credit score up? And the woman who runs the group is amazing. She's completely amazing. She had a credit repair company, and she can basically look at your situation and then tell you exactly what to do. So ask advice of her. She'll tell you what bills to pay and whatnot. But most of the problems with credit scores is you have a lot of debt that is not paid. You possibly have missed payments, which has made, interest go up. So you're paying a really high interest plus trying to pay off the bill. And it just feels like you're in this never ending cycle. So I want to give you guys hope out there. You can do it. My friend Leilani did it. She was able to pay off her debt and get her credit score up over 100 points. And at this point, she's now done over 200 points, and it's only been a year, which is amazing. So I know you guys can totally do it. I'm going to do a couple part videos of credit scores and actually go over more detail, so that way you guys can follow along, and maybe if you guys have questions too, we can answer those specifically for you. And then I'll have Leilani come back on, and she can go over exactly what she did, maybe even tell us a little bit about how much debt she had and, what affected her credit score the most, okay? All right, have a great day, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye.